Hello and welcome to Go-Kart Stage 1 for HRL Season 14. We're on Lake Michigan. Going to be starting Heat 1 here in a moment. It's going to be 3-lap heats. This track is massive. This is the super circuit of the go-kart tracks in our first stage. As you can see, we're still seeing new portions of the track, and I've been going through this overview for quite a bit already, and we're still discovering new portions of the track. This is by far the longest go-kart stage in the season, and part of what makes it unique is you have this second area of the track over here where it's very open, looks very much so like a GP, but then you have the main part of the track towards the finish line where the walls come back and it starts to look more like a traditional go-kart. So it kind of starts off. It opens up a little bit in the last corner as well. So it kind of starts off like a traditional go-kart, and then it kind of opens up, closes off again, opens up, closes off. It goes back and forth a little bit, and that's kind of how this track works. A lot of really technical, tricky sections. The main one you want to keep your eyes on is this downhill chicane. This one is absolutely brutal. It is one of the toughest sections. It's probably the toughest section of any of the sections that we have in any of our go-kart tracks. So that one is brutal. Definitely keep your eyes open for that. All the chicanes are pretty tough. This oval turn chicane, you have a lot of speed going into that one. The downhill one is just tough to find the grip. And this one as well, at the end, it's very easy to make contact with the cylinders, make a mistake there. So all the chicanes in this track, pretty tricky. And those aren't the only tricky corners. A lot more to work with. That hairpin can be kind of weird. We have a more drawn-out corner after that. We can gain some time there. This section's kind of like underrated. You can kind of gain some time here sometimes. The way you enter into it, it's a pretty cool section. You get that oval turn, and this is a jump, by the way. It's not quite a jump here, but this is a jump. You're going to see the riders go 4 tires off the track, and that's quite different for a go-kart track as well. So there's your track overview. Let's get into the race. So heat number 1, starting order on the left, pole position going to be Nuked, making his debut for the go-kart stage. On the right, it's Armada. 3rd, Slaunch on the left. 4th, Sully. 5th, Hunter. 6th, Opix. 7th, Luke and Pancake. 8th, watch for the lights to go out. This first heat here at Lake Michigan, again, 3-lap heats. This track is humongous, so the lap count is going to be a bit lower as the lights go off. We are green. But that don't let that fool you. These races are still pretty long. Oh, man. I'm leaving that notification, and shout out to C-Sizzle, too. Shout out to Clyde. Drivers make their way through the first chicane, and look at this. Top 3 is Nuked, Slaunch, and Pancake. Armada falling back to 4th. Whoa! And Nuked going up the track. What happened there? We had kind of a weird angle on that one. I want to look at the replay on that one. See what happened with Nuked here. Going through these banked corners. Oh, and yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, another replay. Slaunch and Nuked going at it for their first heat win. And yeah, Slaunch just trying to whip it around, get it going for that next corner. Just wasn't quite able to do it. It's very tough when you're entering that far in from the inside. And ends up spinning out Nuked there. So rough start for Nuked. Tough break to start off this first heat for him. But that collision works out really well for Pancake, who's going to go to the lead after that. So really good start from 8th to 1st on the first lap. I'd say it's decent. Always what you want to see when you're starting from the back. Doesn't always work out, but when it does, you love it. And Armada going down, I believe our first victim of the downhill chicane, is going to lose quite a bit of position off that. So rough start for Armada. First victim of it won't be the last. I will say that. Definitely will not be the last as we click off our first lap. Again, only 2 to go. And it looks like we have a little battle brewing here. It's Luke, Opix, and Slaunch. Whoa! Slaunch sending it into that chicane. and whipped it back around. That works out really poorly for Opix, actually. He's going to lose that position to Sully, kind of getting tail whipped on the end of that. So now that's Slanch still holding on to that second place. He's got Luke behind him trying to get third. Sully's going to move into fourth again, with Opix catching the end of that. Hunter's starting to get some spots back from his rough start. And Armada and Nuked with the tough breaks in this heat still towards the back. And yeah, they still got a ways to go. But not a lot of time left. So we're going to be going to the white flag here shortly. Again, just those 3-lap heats. Seems kind of weird, but that's how it is. Downhill chicane, going to claim anybody? A little bit of contact. Maybe not so perfect runs, but everybody kept it on 4 wheels, so I'd say that's pretty good. Pancake's going to take the white flag. Last lap for this heat, and it's looking pretty poised for the win here. Nice alliteration. Shout out to me for that. Slanch trying to hold off Luke for second place. Sully potentially worrying about Opix there behind him as well. Potential for a few last lap passes here. A lot of time for it to happen. The laps are very long on this track. For an average track that we're running in this schedule, could run like 2 laps on the average track length, I would say, for a go-kart stage, for what would make up 1 lap here on Lake Michigan. Just absolute super circuit. In the go-kart stage, setting it apart from the other tracks in the stage. Let's get a good look at the downhill chicane. Pancake's going to get through it clean. Will everybody else? Probably not. They actually haven't been doing too bad so far in this heat. Okay, Sully gets collected on the last lap. He's going to lose that spot to Opix. And that'll probably be the last position change, I think. So Pancake takes the win in the first heat. Slanch second. Luke third. Opix will take that 4th place in the last lap with Sully making the mistake on the chicane. Put him back to 5th. Hunter 6th. Armada 7th. And Nuked 8th. So those are your first heat results. And now let's move on to the second one.